Going to miss the countdown. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a regular term meeting, the B County Commissioners Court. Today is Monday, February 9th, 2026. The time is 9:01 a.m. And I'm calling to order this meeting of the Commissioners Court. We're physically located at the B County Courthouse, Commissioners Courtroom number 110, 105 West Corpus Christi Street, Beeville, Texas 78102. That was the call to order. Moving on to agenda item number 2, prayer. Please stand and join Commissioner Olivares in a brief prayer.
Good morning, everyone. Dear Heavenly Father, please bless this court here to ensure that we are representing our constituents in the areas that we need to represent them. We're also praying for you for rain. We need it much needly. The ground is pretty hard, so anything that you can do to help us there will be much appreciated. Please help us all have a great week. This upcoming forum that's going to be coming on, we'll all do well in it. In your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Excellent. I know, right? Good morning, everybody. Welcome. We're at agenda item number 4, which is recognition of visitors. Thank you all for being here. This is not public comment, but if there's anybody in the audience who wants to identify who they are for the record, or if they're representing an entity, who their entity is, now is the time to do so. Otherwise, this is just a general welcome, and thank you all for being here. Is there anybody who'd like to identify themselves this morning? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 5, Commissioners Court opening remarks. Commissioner Olivares, I believe you're first this time. Is that right, or is that wrong?
I think so.
That's close enough
All
for
right,
government
go ahead,
work, yeah.
Commissioner.
Either way it works.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to recognize our road and bridge department here. We've been working on some flood mitigation that's finally come into play. So County Road 610, we've had some issues where when we have some large, heavy rains, we had a little bit of flooding, and also at County Road 519. So County Road and Bridge went in. They scraped the bar ditches. We replaced some culverts, and hopefully the next time we get rain, whenever that might be, we won't have that situation. On the Toledo Street Jail, the repurposing project, project is progressing well. The additional storage area that was needed to support office needs have been identified, so we have a good plan in place here to support those efforts. IT requirements have been modified to support communication needs, which is good, so no additional cost to the county. So thanks to the network people here, we were able to work some things around, so good deal there. Wall preparation for painting is underway. The electrical is moving forward as planned. Things are looking good there. HVAC equipment has been ordered and is on schedule to arrive next week. Once we get the equipment in, then we'll coordinate with our electrical contractor to get that equipment in place. There's still one outstanding item that I've asked Commissioner DeWitt here to assist in, is we need to start communication with our Pawnee Fire Department Fire Chief and identify what their needs, the timing, the logistics of the removal of that antenna. From what I understand, it was sold and then it was given back to the county. So I'm trying to identify some documentation of who really has ownership of that antenna. But definitely, by all means, I think if the volunteer fire department has a need for it, it's a good move to do that. On the GLO grant, things are progressing well there. We're hoping to have our surveying start next week, February 12th and 13th. And basically what they're going to be doing is surveying the land in the creek bed areas to identify any wetlands issues, and then we can submit our permitting to get that going. All the other projects are moving along as in typical county government. Things are moving a little bit slower than I think myself and Madam Auditor would like, and also Francis. So things are moving forward. Nothing negative, all positive. We just would like to see it move a little bit quicker. On the NRA grant, things are also moving well with that. No major issues. We're waiting to get money or funding for that. I think we're waiting for the board to make their final approval to give us money sometime April, end of March, early April. So that's moving forward. Once we get that, then we'll be able to get a contract in place and move forward. This afternoon, I got a BAP board meeting, so this will be my second one, so I'm looking forward to it. So with that, I'll pass on to my commissioner.
All right, Commissioner, thank you. Big shout out to the B County Junior Livestock and Homemaker Show. Went out there participating, got some of the baked goods. They were very, very good, and also participated in the commercial heifer sale. I was very impressed on the commercial heifer sale when you were those kids are well taught manners and come up and shake your hand and thank you very much for purchasing their animals or whatever and doing that. So that goes for the leadership, the parents. Good job on that. The Historical Commission here in Beeville asked me to give them an update on the historical courthouse restoration project. I did that. Just took me a little over an hour to get through that one, but it was good. It was very good. So they got all the updates and what's going to happen here at the courthouse here in the near future. Got a call from our VSO officer here in town. She was having some problems between the veterans and the appraisal district on how, when they get their letter every year, every January they get their letter and they take their letter in to get their discount for their amount of, their 100% disabled or the disability part for their taxes. So the Deb at the appraisal, our chief appraiser, had some new guidelines that were sent down from the state, and she's got to check the boxes. So the letter they're getting from the VA doesn't match the appraisal district. So there was some back and forth, and no, I don't need to give you this, and yes, you do, and then Deb. So we're still working on that right now. So to the veterans that are out there listening, we're going to get this ironed out, and everybody's going to be on the same page here by the end of the week. Got a brush call on Orange Lane, and of course, Road and Bridge took care of that pretty quick. Potholes that were reported on Ellis Road were also taken care of. And then got a call from a neighbor, I guess on the north end there. They were moving a mobile home into their little subdivision, and they had deed restrictions. They were very concerned. I called Bobby Jemison, and Bobby Jemison took over there and got them corrected on what they could and couldn't do there in that area. So that was one. Got the second call from same type of deal on the east end of the county. People moving in a mobile home into a neighborhood that had deed restrictions. And then judge gave me a little help on this one, and so did Mr. Knight. That is a civil issue, and they said that thought the Commissioners Court control that. We don't control that, just for all that are listening. And so they're getting some guidance from Mr. Knight. Appreciate that, Mr. Mike Knight. Thank you. I also got another call. There's a landowner that has some property, and he's got another property that's about 600 feet down the road and wanted to run a water line down the right-of-way. So I thought we were going to run it through court. Come to find out that we've already taken care of this back in 2017. It requires a permit from Road and Bridge, and they supervise and oversee that process. So no court action is taken. We've done that in the past. Got a paper for them to fill out. They pay for the permit. They follow the guidelines, and then Road and Bridge oversees what goes on there. So I got that done. I have a Bee Development Authority meeting this evening, and that was a busy week, busy 2 weeks. So I'll pass that to Commissioner DeWitt.
Thank you, Commissioner. To tie along with your information about it, the Coliseum with all the kiddos and the livestock show, I was out there 2 or 3 times. I am so impressed with the way those kids work and their mother and dad's work, the amount of activity that goes on, the cleanliness of everything, the way they take care of the animals. If you've never been out there, you need to go. You need to go visit with them. It's amazing. They're just doing their job, and they're quiet, and they're having a good time. So life is good. A couple of things, and I'll bounce around a little bit. Road and Bridge, been doing a lot of work on County Road 113 and some of the others in B County. We had some potholes and one thing or another. They always do a fantastic job. I won't go into a lot of the details because all of us have potholes and limbs on the road and blind intersections, and they do a great job. One thing that came up, we had a meeting in Mineral Saturday. Some people said, out on west of Mineral, off of 623, there's a big pile of brush in the right-of-way. And people are beginning to put their trash on the brush. And somebody else said, well, you know, we've got a collection station right here in Mineral. And I said, well, it's easier and cheaper just to dump it there. Well, turns out it's kind of a no-own zone. It's between and among state and county property right-of-way. So I've contacted Road and Bridge. They're going to take a look at it and see if there's anything we can do, because what's happening, I went by and looked at it. There's a lot of string from bales of hay. So it's a local rancher or somebody cleaning out their barn that's throwing stuff on it. So we'll take care of that. We'll see who it is. Because if it's all on state right-of-way, we can't touch it. They get real sensitive about their right-of-way. The trail riders have been coming through B County for the last probably 100 or so years. I have never seen so many pickups and trailers and trail riders as I did in Pettus this weekend. Usually there's 10 or 15. Pettus looked like a metropolis. There were a lot of them there. Seemed like they were having a good time. I know they had a little pachanga for them that night. I think you might have been there, Commissioner. You can give us some lowdown on dancing on the tables or whatever it was y'all were doing.
Wouldn't say that.
I want to bring y'all up to date on the new screwworm fly facility. The last time we talked, things were looking good. Part of it has kind of gone to the wayside. The Chase Field facility is no longer available. It's been leased. But as luck would have it, we had a meeting about a week ago. I sat next to Senator Hinojosa. We were talking about the screwworm fly facility for B County. He said, yeah, he said, you know, it's a shame that facility at Chase Field's been leased. I said, well, what about the other facility? He said, what other facility? I said, the one we're looking at out of Pawnee, the old Pioneer plant. Pioneer had it, they sold it to Marathon, so Marathon sold it to ConocoPhillips. He said, I don't know anything about that. And I just happened to have a portfolio of literature that I gave him. I said, look, we've been dealing with Charles Maley and Frank Massey on this. I said, they've got all the information. He said, well, he had talked to them too about the Chase Field facility. He said, I'll call Charles later tonight. Well, he called Charles, and this thing has got new legs. A proposal has been put together. Let me read exactly what it says. And it's going to Washington, and it's going to Governor Abbott, and it's being hand-carried. And it's entitled, Why B County and Why Pawnee? It's information on the slide deck. This is our best shot right now. We'll see how it goes. But if you know Charles Maley or Frank Massey, tell them thank you for what they're trying to do and what they've done. They have spent countless hours and hundreds and hundreds of miles of driving. We've had meetings in Pawnee. We've had meetings at Chase Field with different representatives from different companies. But they have been to Washington. They have been to Austin. They have interacted with senators and representatives and secretaries of agriculture and all. Give them a shout out. They've done a great job. This may or may not happen, but I guarantee you we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure it happens if there's any possibility, because we're still looking at those 500 jobs. What has happened now, it's my understanding that they're starting to drop screwworm flies, sterile screwworm flies within 50 miles of the Texas border. The screwworms are getting closer. It's probably to our benefit right now that it's so dry, because flies don't like really dry weather. They like it kind of moist and all. They can reproduce faster, and that may have slowed them down. Because you stop and think about it, flies don't know where the border is. They're going to come right on across. So it's my understanding they're starting to drop sterile screwworm flies within 50 miles of the Texas border inside Texas now. So it's getting closer. And if it should hit us like it did in the 50s, it's going to devastate the livestock industry and the exotic animal industry. Trust me. These screwworm flies only live on live flesh. That's it. If the animal succumbs, they fall out. They will not eat dead flesh, only live flesh. So no more on that right now. We're going to be talking about the Pettus Community Center in a little while. A shout out to Melissa and Oscar Sanchez for the work they've done up there. The Pettus Restoration Environmental Group has done a great amount of work. We're going to talk about it in detail. They've gotten all their ducks together. We're going to bring it before the court and see if we can get it approved. They're wanting to really help the county out and the community out. So we appreciate what they've done. With that note, sir, I will move it to you.
All right. I want to congratulate all the participants this year in the Junior Livestock Homemakers Show. And also a big thank you for them asking me once again to be the rabbit superintendent. It's always a pleasure to go out there and be in the ring and being around all those little kids showing their rabbits. And some are very confident, some are nervous. Just, it's pretty cool. Anyway, also, I attended the special sale and participated in that this year, again, which I understand was very successful. That sale is many hours on a Saturday, so it takes a lot to sit there all day basically and go through all that paperwork and all those entries coming up. But everyone did very well. I went to the Chamber of Commerce banquet at the Twisted Oaks Ranch, which was very well attended. I don't think they could have got another person in the room. It was great. It was great. That's all I got to say on that. Also, I'll be attending the candidate forum tomorrow at the expo starting at 6 p.m. That's been put on by the Chamber of Commerce. That is open to the public for anyone that wants to go to listen to all the candidates that are coming up for election. And then I also want to thank Melissa and Oscar for y'all's hospitality with the trail riders and the public for the use of y'all's park there in Pettis. We watched the Super Bowl on the big screen, had all the trail riders over there, and that was a big turnout. Lots of people showed up for that. And cornbread and beans were wonderful. And then also, last but not least, I will be going to the Capitol in Austin this next week for our 6th B County leadership classes. With that, back to you, Judge.
Thank you, Commissioners, for those robust reports. Moving on to agenda item number 6, public comment. Are there any members of the public who wish to address Commissioners Court this morning? Okay, moving on. Excuse me. Agenda item number 7, the following items are of an administrative nature. Commissioners Court has been furnished documentation on each item, and all such items may be acted upon by one vote without being discussed separately unless requested by a commissioner or county judge.
Move to approve?
Second?
I've got a motion and a second. Further discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you could hold off on the budget amendments, because one of them will be discussed on agenda item number 8.
Okay.
Do we need to count that somehow, that if we approve 8, that we automatically approve this?
However the court wants to.
No, we can't do that.
I just
Can't do that.
want to.
I'll get
bring
you in
it
a
up.
second. Hold
Okay.
on. Let me get to it. Technology grant. All right, where are we?
Because there was enough in that.
I'm going to end up blowing right by
Interest.
it.
Yes.
There was, okay, then we can go that route.
Budget amendment request.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
And that's on the time.
Okay, so Commissioners, if we want to proceed as recommended by our auditor, then we would amend, there'd be I would make a request that Commissioner DeWitt, followed by Commissioner Farias, amend their motion and second to approve the consent agenda, subject to and pulling from the consent agenda, agenda item 7D1.
I'll amend my motion to remove or pull item 7D1 from the consent agenda.
Got a motion?
I'll
Amended
amend my
motion?
second motion.
I've got an amended motion and an amended second. Further discussion on this motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. We will, I'll recall agenda item number 7 for the purpose of considering subpart D, budget amendment requests, after we have considered the agenda item dealing with budget amendments later on in the agenda. Any questions on that? Hearing none, move forward. Discuss and consider action on the following oh wait, I'm sorry. Getting ahead of myself. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Now we can move forward. Discuss and consider action on the following items. Agenda item number 8, approve use of American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, interest funds for the payment of the Tynan Sewer Plant Booster Pump as an emergency purchase. Commissioner Olivatos, is this your agenda item?
It is. I'd like to make a motion to approve obtaining the funds from our ARPA interest.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. And how much, remind the court, how much is the booster pump cost?
Is it $19,500?
But that does not include shipping. We won't know shipping until later.
And, okay, so 19,500 plus shipping. And how much, how much interest funds do we have?
$29,203.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like, is there any concern that this is that shipping's gonna exceed?
Commissioner, I would
go-
recommend we add a little bit more for the shipping, not to exceed a certain amount, that way we won't have to come back.
Okay.
Because the weight on that, so you might want to go 22, and then if you don't use it,
I
back
agree.
in the account.
I'd go 25, just
Yeah.
to be
We'll do,
safe.
yeah. Okay, well, I'd like to amend my motion and approve funding for $25,000.
I'll amend my
Not
second.
to exceed.
Not to exceed.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the use of ARPA interest funds in an amount not to exceed $25,000 for the payment of the Tynan Sewer Plant Booster Pump as an emergency purchase.
I have a comment, sir.
Further discussion, Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
Yes, I just want to remind the court that this is the way we can do this and utilize these funds, which are not technically county funds from the county budget, to fund an outside source. And it's
Kind of mud, right?
I'm sorry,
For the mud
Kind of
district.
which
For the
is-
mud district.
Which is what we use these ARPA monies.
which is exactly right. And that way we sidestep quite a bit of legal entanglement. Let's just use those words.
Any further discussion?
No.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Also, they meet all the LMI requirements, because we just got to do with the
Oh, yeah.
GLO grant
Oh,
there,
yeah.
so they supersede that. I mean, they do great there.
Good points, both. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 9, approve expo request for auditorium fee waiver from the First Baptist Church School for the auction event on March 5th, 2026.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second to approve. How are you, sir? Please identify yourself for the record, and you
I
may
am
proceed.
Chuck Knowlton, and I'm the director of First Baptist Church School, and I want to say thank you for considering the motion for the Coliseum to be used for our kiddos. It worked really well last year, and we're going to be on March the 5th is when we'll have our auction.
Excellent. That's open to the public?
Yes.
And if they wanted to find out more information about that, where would they go?
First Baptist Church office. Diane will be there, Melinda will be there, I will be there almost every day.
Can they call?
Yes, they can call.
Could you give us that number, please?
361-358-4161.
Thank you, Mr. Knowlton. Appreciate it. Is there any further discussion? I hope that it's another great event, and I'm glad we can accommodate y'all in y'all's mission. So
Thank you
very
so much. I appreciate it.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Moving on, agenda item number 10, accept donation of appliances from Pettus Environmental Restoration for the Pettus Community Center. Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
Yes, if you would, Judge, I'd like to recommend this be approved, and we can discuss it, and I'll go into great detail. So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
Basically, what we have, the Pettus Environmental Restoration Group has graciously come up with some funds to buy a refrigerator, a stove, and a microwave. Those have already been purchased. They are in place. I drove to Pettus and looked at them. They are first class. I spoke with the auditor. This is something we can do without any legal entanglements, if you will. And if the court does approve accepting those, as soon as we can get those accepted, our property manager will go up there and put property tags on them, so if they grow little patitas and run off, somebody's in a lot of trouble. So that's my motion, sir.
I have a motion and I have a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception, and the entirety of Commissioners Courts appreciates everything that that the Pettus Environmental Restoration is doing for the community center up in Pettus. Thank you very much. Moving on, agenda item number 11, accept donation of repairs, updates, renovations of Pettus Community Center from Pettus Environmental Restoration. Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
Yes, Judge, if you would, I'd like to make a motion to approve, and then I can discuss this in detail.
I have a motion. Do I have a
Second.
second? I have a motion and a second. Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
Same situation, the Pettus Environmental Restoration Group has come up with an anonymous donor that has said, hey, you know what, if the county will approve this, we'll do a lot of work on the roof, the lighting system, the floors, the walls, the painting, the interior, and went up there, had a meeting with them. Judge Showalter was part of the meeting. Our maintenance supervisor, John, was part of the meeting. All looks good. The only thing we lacked to make this totally legal were some documents indicating that the contractors that were going to work there had their insurance and had their liability stuff and one thing or another. They provided all that. Went over the process, and I said, well, you know what? It takes the government a long time to get things done. If we approve this on Monday, when can y'all start on the roof? And Mr. Oscar Sanchez says, Tuesday. He said the contractor's already been appraised and ready to go, and I said, well, that's great, because it shouldn't be raining anytime soon, and you can work on it right now. So we're really excited about what they want to do up there. Ms. Sanchez, is there anything you'd like to tell the court? Judge, is that all right?
Yeah, of course. Please,
Please.
Ms. Sanchez.
Well, we're ready to start working this afternoon. We're gonna get some external painting to power washing and painting the exterior. We'll do it with some neutral colors that follow the scheme of new interior inside the city of Beeville. And on the fire department side, the fire department will pick their colors, something that's going to be safe with traditional fire department. All the ceiling tiles will be replaced. Something that was of concern that we did touch base on was switching over the rectangular lighting to the circular LED lights. There will be plenty of light for Judge Showalter, and we'll be able to change the spectrums on those lights also. I think that was about it that we had concerns about. Other than that, the buffing, a deep cleaning and resurfacing of the current floors. And internal painting, little filling of holes here and there. And I think that was it. Can you think of anything else?
Yes, ma'am, if you would. When we were talking, the front doors came up.
Oh, yes.
And the front doors have been there since the 80s, and they're not locking properly. Some of the glass is broken in them, and the county committed to replacing those front doors. I spoke with the auditor. We have funds. I think Mr. Sanchez is going to get with John and come up with a set of doors and put those in if we'll pay for them. So that's to my knowledge, that's in the works.
Yes, I had some samples. I'm going to get with Oscar first before we have to see if those specs will fit either exactly the same status as those emergency bar doors or something upgraded. We don't want to downgrade the security in those, making sure that there's two-way or safety glass on them. Some of the doors that we were looking at had the traditional push handles, but I think the emergency,
Fire bar.
yes, yeah, that we need to stick with that.
I agree with you totally. I know that the county's stance in this, Mr. Yuzagari is available. We're not going to be up there looking over your shoulder, supervise every minute, but if there's a question or a comment or concern, I think y'all have his phone number, he has y'all's, and we'll work together on this.
Yes, sir.
It's an exciting project, and I'm hoping the county commissioners court will approve it. We really appreciate what you guys are doing. You really
We're
do.
happy to do it.
I got you. You look to me. Okay. When do we anticipate these repairs being completed?
The roof, they should come in pretty quickly, so less than a week on the roof. I'd like to say within a quarter. About 3 months with everything done that we've proposed so far.
I believe our elections administrator is frantically trying to get our attention, and I believe that's because we have a primary that's coming up, and the Pettus Community Center is an election or a voting location. And we need to make sure that everybody understands that that voting location is not going to change, that we do need to have access, availability, that the lights can't be mid-change out. Are you aware of all that? Oh.
Well, all the work that's going to be done is going to be done on weekends for the roofing.
As far as any election dates, I'll have Oscar work around all those dates, and we'll make sure that there are no ceiling tiles missing or lighting missing, and we'll do that.
You can go ahead.
Melissa's going to be one of our judges there, so she's aware of the election, but just the dust is the main thing. Once the equipment's, we will be bringing equipment in on the Sunday before the 3rd, so on that 3rd, we'll wait.
Yeah, I'll let y'all discuss that offline. We don't need to have
The
that
only
discussion.
other thing
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that on those doors, please remember those need to be ADA compliant.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion on this agenda item? That's a good point. I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am, Ms.
I'd
Cantu.
just like to attach the local government code of 81.032 to this Commissioner's Court accepting this donation.
Okay, I'll put that in the motion. Government Code 81.032, we're following that government code. And if I could, Judge, I'd
Yeah.
like to read the officers, and correct me if I'm wrong, if any of these have changed. The President, Oscar Sanchez Jr., Vice President, Jesse Hernandez, Secretary, Melissa Sanchez, Treasurer, Nick Conklin, and Development Officer, Tony Hilton. We have a debt of gratitude to all of you guys for jumping in there and wanting to do this and making things better for everybody.
We're honored.
Yeah, this is really great. Do we have any idea what the cost of those doors is?
A little, around 6,000, Judge, 6 to 7,000. That's the best guess we had the other day.
I have found things from the low end of 3,800 all the way up to $20,000. So we will be conservative and be
Mindful of that expenditure and make sure that everything is ADA compliant and we're not breaking any banks.
Okay, I think I'd like that to be brought back before Commissioner's Court, before.
The doors?
Yeah, before that is, I don't know anything about that. It's the first I've heard of it. I'm not super comfortable with having the county commit to expending an unnamed amount of funds on an undesignated and unspecified product, so we'll just have to bring that
Okay,
back. But I
not a
don't see it
problem.
being a problem at all, and I look forward to it, and thank you all very much.
Once we get that, if you get John, and we'll put it on the agenda and bring it back.
Awesome.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. So, you, Commissioner DeWitt, you, mid-discussion, you amended your motion to accept the donation of repairs, updates, renovations of the Pettis Community Center from Pettis Environmental Restoration, subject to Local Government Code, Section 81.032. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
And
sir.
Commissioner Fedias, are you considering amending your?
Amending my second. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. I have an amended motion and an amended second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you. Agenda item number 12, set public hearing date pursuant to Texas Transportation Code, Chapter 253, entitled County Improvement of Subdivision Roads, Vernon's 2003, to consider placement of no-engine brake signs at the following locations. Subpart A, 1- at the intersection of State Highway 202 and State Highway 181 in Beeville, and Subpart B, 4- at the intersections of State Highway 623 and 673 in Mineral.
That is correct.
Is this your agenda item?
Yes, sir, it
Commissioner
is.
DeWitt? You have the floor, sir.
If you would, Commissioner Olivers and I have been working on this for a while. What brought this to light in Mineral, there's a lot of oil field activity going on north of Mineral. Well, those caliche trucks are coming through Mineral about 2 o'clock in the morning. And when I was in Mineral Saturday, they said at least 50 of them came through not too many weekends ago. And as they come through, they're putting on that, they call it a Jake brake. It's a loud noise that slows the truck down in the middle of the night, if you will. It's very, very quiet around Mineral. And when that starts rattling the windows and rattling the doors and knocking people out of their beds, they call their commissioner and say, can you do something? So we're trying to do something. But the individual that contacted me, being very enterprising, he said, I've already done something. I said, what did you do? He said, I called a quarry, and I complained to him about them knocking me out of my bed, and he said, you can't believe how much difference it's made. They talked to the truckers. He said, some are still doing it. But we've got this on the agenda. Now, it's not a real quick process, because what we have to do, we'll put this on a public hearing. We'll have the public hearing. there's a resolution we have to give TxDOT, then TxDOT has to take that resolution and come up with a contract, if you will, with us for the exact locations, because they have to GPS in the signs on their post, because we put our sign on their post, so we're probably still 3 months away. And when I told him that, he said, well, this is what I've already done. But this is the process, Judge.
Okay, great. Yeah, that was my first question, is that we're all talking about state highways we have no rights over, so.
That is correct.
That
Yeah.
is right.
So do we,
We go ahead and set the public hearing.
had you looked at the available dates for public hearing?
I'm waiting on Ms. Paulette to give us a date,
We can do it.
because it's got to run in the newspaper for 30 days.
So we can run it this week.
Who's going to be preparing that notice?
March 9th?
I'm guessing we're going to be putting together that notice?
Yes, sir.
And I know
We can't do it March 9th.
It's got to be the 23rd.
Okay, the 23rd. Is it March the 23rd?
Because usually the auditor's office calls and verifies the exact wording.
Yes, and we can verify if we need to with Pauletta, we can work together. Or
Please.
we can do it whatever the book wants.
Does the 23rd give us enough time based on our,
Because we missed the paper
Understandings.
deadline already until next week.
Yeah, today's the 9th.
February, yeah.
so if we get it in this week, it'll be published next Wednesday? So we have.
Yeah, if you get it in today, you
Right.
can probably get it in.
When's the deadline to get it in next week?
Thursday.
Thursday? Okay, that's enough time to prepare it and get it ready to proceed?
If it's raining.
Pretty much exactly what it says here,
Okay. Wait.
the intersections and all that.
Oh, okay, yeah, you've already got the structure, okay.
But the structure's already.
I was like, I don't think there's anything about the dates in there.
No, there is.
Okay, so then the 23rd should provide us adequate time to provide the notice. Okay, Commissioner DeWitt?
Yes, sir, Judge, if you would, I'd like to set 10 a.m. on March 23rd as a public hearing for the no engine brake signs.
I have a motion, do I have a second? I have a second from Commissioner Lenny. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please, I'm sorry, oh, okay. Misinterpreted, I thought you were giving me a signal. No further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you, everybody. 323, excellent. Moving on, agenda item number 13, approve election administrator's request to use the Commissioner's Courtroom on March 3rd, 2026 for the ballot board from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Oh, you're already there.
I'm
Miss
already here.
Warnings.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. We are not going to have room for the ballot board to be in our building due to that having to be an election day polling site, so I don't have a room for them, so I would like to use the Commissioners Court for them to process any mail ballots, any late ballots, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, yeah, it's,
That will necessitate the bailiff staying over.
yeah, that'd be the only issue.
Just a reminder that that
It'll be here
is
anyway,
election day, and so
It'll be
we
here
will be
anyway,
using
'cause it's
Rotunda
election
too.
day.
It's
Anyway.
already been previously approved.
Okay. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think it's something that, you needed to come before entire Commissioners Court. But it's always easier to do it that way than to do it any other way. So do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Ms.
Commissioner.
Warnings.
Judge.
Yes, ma'am. Agenda item number 14, approve submission of application for the Ed Rochelle Grant on behalf of the 156th Judicial District Attorney's Office for fiscal year 2026.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
You had to step out, I saw.
$15,000 on college. That's the same as last year. It's 15,000.
The grant amount is $15,000?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. That was funny. Agenda item number 15, approve the auction of broken, unsalvageable, zero-turn lawnmowers and miscellaneous small equipment items from the Expo and Maintenance Department to be auctioned with CM Auction.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 16, approve Affordable Care Act Reporting and Tracking Service, ARTS, Renewal Confirmation Program Agreement between B County and the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? These are all largely housekeeping at this point. If there's no discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, we've reached the end of the agenda. We have, I'll go back and recall agenda item number 7, specifically subpart D, which was pulled from the consent agenda. Are we ready to proceed? Madam Auditor.
Yes, the agenda item number 8 was approved, which is connected to that
The budget
budget
amendment.
amendment.
Thank you. Okay, so do I have any motions?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second to approve agenda item number 7, subpart D. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Okay, anything else we have to return to? I don't believe so, just making sure. We have no executive session items on the agenda today, so we'll move on to agenda item number 17. This was a quick meeting, excellent, thank you all for your input and participation today. I'll call agenda item number 17 adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
And I've got a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
How was that?
Maybe from now on, I need to call a roll call vote. All opposed, motion passes without exception. We are adjourned. Thank you all again very much for your presence this morning. Excellent job.
You see an email?